Anyway, right, time to get cracking with today's debate. And who better to help us study our celebs' current situation than today's learned lineup? It's our panel, everyone. Joining us for the first time today, he's more biting than all the crocs, snakes and spiders in the jungle put together. It's funny man Iain Lee. And he's cuddlier than Tedward. It's Jungle Joe Swash.
He's so cuddly. He's like a giant puppy, Joe Swash,
Isn't he really? He just won't leave you alone. Iain.
Been humping my leg all morning.
I know, he's terrible. Iain, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm in Australia.
I believe it is Australia.
I've never been to Australia before. I've got no idea what time it is, what day it is.
Welcome to Australia.
This is nighttime Monday in England, is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit hot, so don't worry about that.
Thursday afternoon or something here. I've got no idea what's going on.
What are your first impressions of the show?
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No, it's good. It's been good. I've been enjoying it. It's a good year this year. It's kind of a bit slow to start, but suddenly now all the personalities are coming out and it's all kicking off a bit and tensions are rising.
I've just got an exclusive from my producer and it's Pat's reaction after being told he's doing the trial. So let's look at this right now.
Don't be sorry. It's my plan all along.
Oh my God, especially hair trip. It's like
Ooh, he's just said that was my plan all along, Joe.
It's just a shame he picked the most vulnerable person in there and the most vulnerable vulnerability. That worked like.
She was vulnerable, wasn't she?
It's like he picked the weakest person in there to do it. And if it was a plan, I thought it was a horrible plan.
But do you think it worked in the end? Like, he's going to do the trial and probably do better than Sunita would.
Well, he's got to do better than Sunita, because if he doesn't, then the whole nation is going to be laughing at him like they were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he picked on Lorraine, right? And he was very cruel to Lorraine, and I thought it was a little bit harsh. But she's very, very irritating, isn't she? In all honesty, she's one of those girls that you know when you go back to a girl's house and she's got loads of teddy bears and patchouli oil and she's got 3 cats and she talks to her.
It kind of just felt like it was like kicking a puppy, you know. It was like, leave her alone.
He did go a bit too far. He did go a bit too far.
But initially, when he started saying all these things, everyone else in his camp started laughing along. Like, Mark was laughing, Jessica...
I think it was funny to begin with, and then, again, as usual, he took it a bit too far, and then it just got a bit... And especially when you could see it was really getting to her. Yeah. But I did like it, actually, that she stood up for herself a bit.
Yeah.
And she was just like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to be nice. You stood up.
She does an excellent Lorraine Chase impression.
I like Lorraine.
It's really good. I don't know what to believe anymore because, like, yesterday at one stage it looked like Pat was going to crack up. I don't know if it's real or not, but let's have a little reminder of that happening.
I think I'm going to walk out and go to the trial.
Pat's completely lost it, and it's scary.
I lost my load.
Pat shouting, he's locking up.
Oh, I want to go home. It's a nice leaf. I must take this home with me. Oh, bless you, Leaf. Oh, is that Spider? Oh, have I got my knickers on? How's my arse looking? Not bad for 40 plus.
You have cracked.
Put me in the sin bin! Oh!
Wow, that's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen, and I've seen Joe on a toilet. Do you think it's a big show, Iain? I'm so confused.
I'm confused by Pat, because at the start, I was really impressed with him, because he was like some sort of Jedi Zen master with, like, just taking everything in his stride and being very cool about it. But what I've noticed is that with the blokes, he's all right with the blokes, but it's the women that he's a bit funny with. He was like a little bit inappropriate with the 2 sexy girls earlier on. Oh, I'll come and do your shower for you, my lovelies. I'll do your shower. And then with Lorraine, so it's the women that he seems to be kind of manipulating a bit.
He's saying that this is all part of the plan. I don't think it was. I think that is a bit of Pat. He showed a bit of his true colours there, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
He kind of come across...
Joe, you were in the jungle before, and you know how it is when you get really hungry. Do you not think it could drive someone to act like that to get food?
Yeah, it could do, but in the same breath, you've got to remember that you don't want to spoil anyone else's experience in the jungle because, you know, they've all waited to go in there, and he made someone cry. So when you make someone cry, you've gone too far.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to be a bit weary of him now, because at first it was funny, but now I think that he picks them off. It's like he targets them and zones in, and you don't know who's going to be next. She's a bit apprehensive.
A bit scary. Russell, you've got some bits and pieces.
It's that classic thing where, you know, if someone falls over and then they pretended to do it. I bet he started being nasty, thought, actually, I can make it look like this was a plan, kill two birds with one stone, I get to be horrible with Lorraine, and I get fed. Summed up with these two contrasting emails, with one from Karen Wheeler saying he's so rude, he should make a sharp exit. And Roberta Brown... I know. Roberta Brown saying, I think Pat was planning the whole time and he's clever. I personally think he's covering his nasty little tracks now. I'll wait till my say in a minute.
There is a divide, though, isn't there? Because it's hard to tell if it's an act or not.
It's amazing how the divide has suddenly happened just because of the sin bin.
Yeah.
You know, the sin bins work so well, and the divide is starting to... And the lack of food as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping he does terribly.
Now, I meant...
It will be so funny, because that rant he had about Sunita doing badly, you know, she's putting it on and it's all an act. It's not an act with Sunita. She's a little bit potty, but she's genuinely terrified of all of those things. That's not an act.
We were mentioning there that when Pat was being really mean and Mark was laughing along, and because it's kind of like this boyish group, and I think they're the young kids, even though I don't think Pat's that young. But then after that, Mark did go into the Bush Tucker Telegraph, and here's an exclusive of what he had to say.
Pat Sharp. He's hilarious.
He's losing it.
But I don't want him to get to the point where he feels like he has to be too funny, because then it won't work right. It works so that he doesn't need to be.
Laughing at him.
Well, Pat's just been joking about, making us all laugh. He's taking the mick out of Tedwood because he thinks that Lorraine's silly to have him at that age or whatever else. But it was just harmless banter, really, just trying to make us all laugh. And it was funny at the time, but when you actually look at it on the flip side, no one knows the backstory of the Teddy, so it may have been a bit out of order from him.
See, Marcus, he's just as guilty. He was joining in with the let's burn Tedwood stuff.
Yeah.
And then he started feeling a bit bad. He remembered he was on telly.
I went into the Bush.
So he went to a point, oh, I'm really sorry, it's Pat that's doing it. So at least Pat's being honest and being open and being true to himself.
We think. We don't know.
Best of both.
What do you think, Jade?
I quite liked what he said about the backstory of the Teddy. We all want to know a bit more about the Teddy.
Yeah.
Maybe the Teddy could have a bio.
Have we got a short film with Tedwood's history that we can throw to now? I'd like to see that.
We have a caller, Bridget from Plymouth. Hello, Bridget. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
Great. What have you got to say to our panel?
Well, I just think that obviously the public's done the right thing now by putting Pat through for a challenge. Obviously, he's moaned because Sunita hasn't done anything, and they've all had a moan in there because they're not getting fed. And I think this is what the public wanted. And now that he has been voted in, I obviously think, yes, definitely, he will do the challenge.
There you go. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you very much. So he will do the challenge. A lot of pressure on that boy's shoulders right now.
Do you know what? I think he'll do all right. I think he will do all right in the challenge. We all want him to fail and look like an idiot, but I think he's calm enough and he's with it enough to get, you know, he'll get 10.
Well, and he didn't seem fazed by anything in the cave. He just got his T-shirt and shoved it in.
Well, he just told Sunita to take her clothes off. Let's move on. Well, thank you, guys. We'll be back for more from you very, very soon.
All your way or no way, isn't it?
No, your way or the highway.
And you're like a dog with a bone, you won't stop. No, just let somebody have their moment where they're having a bit of a whinge. What's wrong with that?
Because you're bringing us down as well when you do that.
It's not bringing me down.
Who said? Don't speak for everybody else without asking
well,
them.
it's affecting me then.
Happy camp.
Ooh, tensions. Chrissy is feeling left out. Do you think it's fair for her to feel like this, Iain?
Chrissy is bringing it totally on herself. She is totally doing this herself, right? She's going around going, oh, everybody hates me. It's a class thing. Oh, for God's sakes, shut up, woman. She's banging on. No one has said... She says, oh, it's because I'm old, it's because I'm weird, it's because I'm common. No one has said that at all. No one has said anything like that at all. It's all coming from her.
Do you not feel that Pat victimised her, though, when she was going to do the trial with Emily? He talked to Emily, kind of ignored her. What do you think, Jade?
Yeah, I agree. He was condescending, and I think, you know, I agree to a certain extent. She probably is feeling a little bit insecure. No one said that, fine. But at the same time, they are all young, and they are all kind of quite cliquey and talking together, and she probably does feel a bit left out.
Can I just actually say something about that? They are all young. She's 53, Pat's 50. Yeah, and he's hanging around with all the 24-year-olds.
Pat wants to be young, sorry, we should have rephrased that. Pat thinks he's cool and he's really not, but
there's different. Are they going to segregate even more? Because I don't think Chrissy even wants to help out her team now. She doesn't.
No, I liked
she
that,
want to be
though.
in that team.
I quite liked, because I didn't understand at first when she said, oh, you know, we showed them young ones, but it's like, even though she's on that team, she sees herself as part of the other team, and she wants to... Well, I feel like there's a
it's
new
divisive and it's dangerous. And I thought Mark did quite a noble thing of going up to her and saying, look, you know, we want you to be part of the team. And that thing, I've known you since back in the day, literally a week. Well done.
Back in the day.
But she was dismissive of that, and I just think
Do you think Mark meant that, or do you think... Like,
I think Mark is so stupid that everything he says is completely honest.
He's not playing it up to the camera.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he is.
A lady who got upset, someone who's normally quite strong, was Fatima. She had a little bit teary after she was doing the trial, and she won the trial and she got teary. Jay, do you think there's just so much pressure on her? I mean, we're not at the 1988 Olympics. Like, why does she feel that pressure? It's just a game.
I know, but I think, it shows there must be a lot of pressure if Fatima can crack, because she's obviously one of those people who stays very focused. And when you don't eat, I get really upset if I don't eat. I get moody. And she probably feels like everyone's now relying on her, not to be horrible to Sunita, but she's awful. So it kind of was on her shoulders to make sure that everyone ate.
And talking about food, I never saw someone get so angry about rice. Anthony, I know he gets angry. We talk about this every day, but he was really, really annoyed about the lack of rice.
He got very annoyed about that. And if he was annoyed, that's fair enough. But stop banging on about it. And Fatima says, look, you know, just calm down. You've made your point. And then he had to go at Fatima. And he has to be the centre of attention. He's always whinging.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in Anthony. I thought he was going to be a really nice, lovely bloke.
It's that classic aggressive thing. If someone does something aggressive or violent, goes, I'm allowed to have my reaction, and smashed up the house. I go, you can't invalidate my reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Some reactions aren't actually valid to start with.
Fatima I thought was handled it very maturely and said, OK, you're angry, you're upset, that's great, but you're bringing everyone else down. Then Lorraine dives in as well. Blooming Lorraine.
I think now, though, Lorraine just wants... She feels, people think I'm too nice now, so I'm really going to have my say.
I don't think she likes Fatima. I think there's a thing... Because there's been a couple of bits between her and Fatima where they've had a little bit of argy-bargy, I think is the technical term for it.
Argy-bargy, yeah. I think you're right there, Ian.
Yes.
We have a caller. We've got Billy from Landudno. Hello. Landudno, sorry. Hi, Billy. How are you?
Hi, guys. You OK?
Not too bad. What have you got to say to the panel?
Well, I'm just wondering, they all seem to be losing the plot a bit early on this year. Pat especially. I mean, he's either a really nasty man, he's got two sides to him, or he's playing a very clever game. But I think it's the area. I think he's quite nasty, and I'm shocked at Anthony Cotton as well. I thought he'd be a bit more funny in there and add a bit more humour to the camp.
That's interesting, because you have these ideas, you know, you think Pat, Funhouse, Anthony, we know from Coronation Street, but we're learning a lot of different things in here.
It's showbiz, it's all a show. I can't stand
not show
Pat.
friends.
No.
We've kind of fallen out, fallen out over Pat because you don't like him. And I think he's doing what he said he said he'd go in there.
He's so infuriating. He really gets to me.
He delivered the goods. He went in there, he calmly didn't panic.
This is the thing. He delivered, yes, and it's great, and he's bought them all food. But now it gives him more licence to be even more annoying and go on like, yes, well...
But he said himself he's playing the part of a pantomime villain where the audience love to boo someone and hate him, and he's taking that on the chin. Good for him.
Well, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Billy, for that. You really... Jane is angry now. You made her really angry.
Oh, no. Do not, under any circumstances, do a Sunita.
Ooh, doing a Sunita. Her name has become the byword for jungle wimpiness. Do you think that's unfair for Pat just to assume that she didn't do it?
He's got a right chip on his shoulder about Sunita, isn't he?
Yeah.
Did something happen in the 80s between them? Did he not play her record or something on Capitol? I don't know.
There must be some issues. Back to the blue team, we saw Mark there, and he always said from day one he hates rats. Guess what they picked to go in? Rats. Do you think he'll last the night?
I think Mark can cope with a lot of things, and he's got an inner strength. And as he said, when he went into the jungle, nothing in here can kill you.
Yeah.
But after seeing him screech at that spider and call out for his mum the other night, and knowing that he don't like rats, I think we might see Mark crumble in this.
Really?
It will go on for a bit. I hope deep down he doesn't.
How long do you reckon he would last in there? Do you think he would be able to get a couple of hours before he cracked, or would it be minutes?
I think by the sounds of the clip we've just seen, you know, Pat will keep him going.
Yeah.
Although Pat is a bit of an arse. But basically, I think he will keep Mark going to the bitter end. Definitely.
We have a caller in to talk about Mark. With Jack from Sunderland. Hello, Jack. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. What have you got to say to our panel?
Well, I don't think Mark will have succeeded the challenge. I think there's more chance that Sunita or someone would have. Because
really?
Not a chance in the lot.
Wow, thank you very much, Jack. Well, you know Mark. Is he a big baby?
He's not a big baby. I think, like, in Essex, obviously people perceive Mark as being, like, Mr. Essex, which basically he is, but behind his exterior, he's a really soft, loving person.
Yeah.
And he has got a fear of rats, as we know, even though he's, like, the biggest rat in Essex, putting it back all over the place. But, you know, I think he could potentially crack.
Let's look, we saw there at the very end of that was Emily's eye, and we saw a tear dripping down. That looked like a horror movie. Do you think
I think this is such a good challenge because it's got
amazing.
everybody is in it. They're playing for a really, really big thing. Everybody is in it. No one is going to get off. Is going to get off lightly. But I think with Pat there, and I know you think Pat's an arse. I kind of quite like Pat, and I think he'll push them a little bit further than they'd be able to go without him.
So it does help having people beside you.
I think so. I think he's going to encourage them and help them just get a little bit further than perhaps they would.
And also, this is an amazing chance because we've not seen much of Jessica.
No.
We've not seen much of Emily, you know. So, you know, you might see them come. I want to see how Jessica's going to react. So I haven't seen her push to any sort of limit.
She hasn't really had a chance to do any of the big trials. And what about Chrissy? Because we always forget Chrissy's there.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and the thing is about Pat, like, I know you like him, and I don't mind him, but I don't like the way he digs the women out.
You did just call him an arse.
Well, he is an arse.
No,
he's an arse, but why the reason I think he's an arse is because he's dug Lorraine out.
Yeah.
He's going for them type of characters, and I think Chrissy is going to let him have it.
I'd like to see Chrissy because I feel like Chrissy feels like she's got something to prove.
Yeah.
That she's not felt part of the team. Pat's kind of supporting all the others, so I think she's going to do it just to spite them.
She's a tough little cookie,
Yeah,
isn't she?
she is.
She really is. Russell, you've got some bits.
Yeah, we must be clear. Gemma did say Pat is a bit of an arse, i.e. a buttock. Lots of support for Chrissy. Typical one, Stephen Bradshaw. Chrissy's mint. She's got a good humour and the camp needs her humour. Pat, people take the personality qualities on board, but people such as Bradley Barker saying he's one of the toughest men in there and he will act as a cox to drive the team on.
Nice. Guys, we need to look at the bigger picture because it's all about the immunity. So if the blue team do lose, who do you think is most at risk?
I see Jessica maybe. She's in a bit. She's at risk. Maybe Emily. What do you reckon?
I think Emily. I think Jessica, there is a tough cookie in her
spot
somewhere.
on, she is. According to the bookies, she's the most at risk.
You're going to see that girl change, and I think Mark will fancy her in the end.
Do you think?
Do
Yeah.
you think he's going to go for Jessica?
Well, there's lots of flirting with Emily, isn't there, the blonde girl? And I just think when you see Jessica around him, he goes a little bit more quieter. So I know everyone was thinking they was going to get it on, but she's not his type.
Is he a boob man? He likes boobs? Does he?
Well, yeah.
Straight dancer, I love that. Dougie doesn't seem to be scared of many things. He used to have pet lizards and everything. How do you think he'll do in this then?
Oh, I really like Dougie.
I think Dougie will do fine. Dougie, I've been surprised at how cool and calm he's been with the whole thing. He just seems to be like going, yeah, whatever, what's next? I'll have some of that next. I worry that Pat could be at risk of getting voted out.
No, I don't think he will. I think
really?
The last couple of days he's not kind of warm to anyone, but you want to keep him in there just to see how much annoying he can be.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I think. But I worry that people will go, he's so irritating, let's just get rid of him.
The thing is, though, we're voting for people to stay.
Yeah.
So do you think that maybe he'll do better because of the way it is?
I don't know, possibly, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to find out if you guys are right, as one campmate's getting the boot. And if you have something you'd like to throw into the pot or a question you'd like to ask Gemma or Iain directly, then get in touch with us at itv.com/celebrity and get stuck in. Now, back to the news in camp. And with the immunity challenge over, the campmates are finally back together and bonding as one big group. How do you think things are going on now since the challenge, Iain?
They're slowly kind of falling apart and going.
They're not really bonding at all.
There is no. It's kind of like a faux bonding because they've got through the first eviction. They've got through, this whole challenge together. But that's not going to last very long at all. And the irritating people are getting more and more irritating. Anthony Cotton. He's so.
You're saying irritating people. You're talking about one person,
Cotton,
really.
Cotton. He does my head in with the cooking and the whinging and Fatima, there's a time and a place. Shut up, Cotton.
Yeah. And it's the first time they've all been thrown in as well, together now. As well. So we're going to see that mix, and Anthony will be forced to ascend to the top of the whole group. He sees that cookie, and that is his route to power, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Anthony. You've
Sorry,
got a
what?
thing.
Oh,
You've
Gemma,
got a thing.
How many percent do you like him?
About 99%.
99%, that's
He's
nothing.
Not a million percent. But when he first went in, I thought he was a bit of a bitch, but now I really like him.
Why? His honesty.
I just think, it's been great support for Mark. When Mark first went into the camp, I actually thought, hang on here a minute, I think Mark was on the ball. I think he could see Anthony could be a bitch because he's three people and he rolled into one. He's got three different personalities. And I think Mark thought, do you know what, I'm going to befriend him, get on his good side, and it's turned out, it's like lovely.
The word of advice for Cotton, as a wise man once said, is it's nice to be nice, and he should be nice to people instead of going around doing all the backstabby bitch.
But I don't think he is.
But is it better for him not to be his own person? There's no point putting up a front of being nice if he's not a nice guy.
Front. When he comes out and he meets Ant and Dec, he's all showbiz. He's all, it's like an audition. It's one
of the many three, though. He's many things going on in his head.
Yeah.
Well, let's move it on, because we could talk about Anthony forever. But one person who has been opening up a bit more than she was Sunita. Now, we saw her talking about Brad Pitt, but here at ITV2, we can bring you another exclusive. Have a look at this.
Wow. Ask how big his willy is.
How big was
people
his
always think,
willy?
oh, much bigger than yours, Dougie.
Really? Well, but everyone's willy's bigger than mine, though.
Ooh. Did Dougie just say on national TV that he has a little willy? That's not something you should be saying.
Well, these pop stars these days, they've got, haven't got the right attitude. Have they?
Well, Sunita wasn't just talking about Brad Pitt. She did open up a little bit about Simon Cowell. So we have...
Oh, I got the innuendo as well, I'm glad, yes.
Let's have a little exclusive look at this.
So is Simon Cowell like your best friend then? You're always together?
We sort of holiday together, and obviously, but in the summer and at Christmas, and then working with him on the show during that sort of season, we see a lot of each other. So I've really missed him this year. Really missed him.
How did you two meet?
Well, he signed me back in the 80s. I was his first artist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then we dated for a few years on and off as well.
Oh, you were
stayed
dating
really
each
close.
other?
Yeah. Stayed really close. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's nice. He's fine. You'd like him.
Would I?
You'd get on with him, yeah.
Is he cheeky or is he...
Exactly how he sings.
Yeah?
Exactly how he sings, I think that's what he's like.
Is he quite witty?
Yeah.
Is he?
Quite jokey, quite playful.
Yeah.
But then he's got when he's in work mode, he really gets into it.
Is he still engaged?
Not sure.
Yeah, it's always like people saying he is and then he isn't and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You'll be swept off your feet soon though, Sunita. It's bound to happen. It always
nearly
does, doesn't
ready.
it?
I'm nearly ready.
It's bound to happen any time now.
My Aussie Tarzan.
Ooh, Gemma, what are Sunita's chances of finding an Australian Tarzan in that camp?
I think it would be the best TV if Simon Cowell came swinging through the forest, just in like some little leopard print like thong going on. I love Sunita so much, as you all know, and it would just make my life if her and Simon got married.
I just have that image. I just hope that happens so much.
I want to go to the wedding.
You want to go to this fantasy wedding you've concocted in your head that's probably never going to happen, but that's what you're pinning your hopes on.
Anything can happen in Essex. We will make this happen for them.
Let's make that happen. You never know. Let's look at Sunita there. Do you think she's opening up a little bit more?
No, not really. I just think she realises she's a bit dull and a bit boring, so she's mentioning famous men that she may or may not have been to bed with, just to try and get a little bit of excitement.
It's working. I'm excited. It's working.
Also, did you look? There was a bit at the end where she just had that 1,000-yard stare where she's just like...
Yeah. She was thinking about Simon, though.
Well,
every girl would know that.
She was thinking about whether she was supposed to breathe in or out next. She couldn't quite remember.
Let's move it on to another relationship. We were talking there earlier on, we touched on Mark and Anthony. Do you think that they'll stay friends afterwards, Iain?
I don't think they will. The thing I've noticed about this is I think that Anthony fancies Mark. And that there was a little bit of the crush going on there. And as soon... Because at the beginning, they're very, very close. Then Dougie comes in, and Mark's like, see you, Anthony. Hey, Dougie. And I think that Anthony's seriously fancied him, and it feels a bit rejected.
Do you think Mark knows that it might be more than just friendship? Do you think he senses that Anthony's attracted to him?
I don't think so. I think Mark's quite naive when it comes to,
What are you doing, Anthony? It feels funny. but I like it.
Can I just say, though, Mark only thinks about girls. All that's in Mark's mind is women.
Oh, I'm not in any way implying that he's gay or anything like that, but I'm just saying that Anthony's probably got a crush on him, and Mark didn't realise it. He just thought it was a buddy-buddy thing, and doesn't realise that Anthony's upset now he's turned his attention.
He looked away. When he was in the mankini, he was looking away a bit too much.
It's always very telling. So our panel, Gemma and Iain, are still with us and looking forward to taking your questions. So let's cracking. First of all, did you not put shoes on today?
No,
your wife
no
was on
today.
to us and everything.
And I'm wearing my bling as well. This is peace, complete nuclear disarmament.
You're going to come back from Australia changed, man.
Yep,
Not
very
for the
much
better.
I blinged him up because I let him down on the date last night. So if he's lucky, he'll get my shoes.
She has also let me do her vajazzle as well, so... Swings and roundabouts.
Does Gemma know this?
She was asleep.
Too much information. Moving on. We have a lovely question here from Katie Lord. First of all, she says, I love the ITV2 show. You lot never fail to put a smile on my face. Thank you, Katie. That's
Katie Lord. Katie Lord.
She says, Willie was so funny during the immunity challenge, but do you think he's holding back? We don't really see much of him.
I think we're seeing as much as we need to. He was brilliant in the immunity challenge, flicking the... he had the grasshoppers, didn't he?
Ping, ping, ping.
He's just like someone's tiny, weird, shrivelled granddad, isn't he? And he's grounded for it.
I love Willie. I think he's amazing. Easy.
Hey, I've just realised that sounds rude. Because Willie's a penis,
last
isn't it?
night...
I've just got it.
I love Willie.
Last night... You finished now, Rick?
Sorry, Joe.
Last night in a coffee, he was my favourite last night. I thought he was so funny. When the crickets come in, he was laughing and ping, ping, ping. I thought he was brilliant.
I think that was, like, really intellectual what he did, because, like, he must have... No, but he must have, like, proper brains to think to ping them back.
Definitely
intellectual, stretching it a little bit, I'd say, Gemma.
We have a caller who wants to speak to the panel. We've Jamie from Manchester. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, what have you got to say?
Everybody.
Hello, Jamie.
Oh, I am just so gutted that Stephanie's gone. Absolutely.
Why?
Oh, I'm devastated. If she'd have stayed until the very end, I would have run up and down Manchester with nothing on but just my little Willie.
Now he tells us.
So you're a big fan.
And I just absolutely agree wholeheartedly with the guy with the checkered top on. I forgot his bloody name. I just absolutely love that. The girl from Uncle.
And his name's Iain, but he'd like you to pronounce it Iain.
You and the rest of the country, Jamie, but don't worry.
Jamie, thank you very much. I'm really sad Stephanie didn't get through. I think Manchester would have loved to have seen a naked Jamie running through. Thank you, Jamie. Russell, what have you got?
Well, before I ask the question to Gemma that I've been sent, thanks to Sammy Joe Bryant for letting us know that Joe Swash was trending worldwide earlier. I did check why you were trending, Joe, and it was because the advert you did promoting the competition where you're on the bridge looked so funny when you went, if you want a celebrity lifestyle like mine, listen to the following question.
He's got to ruin it, innit? He's got to take the shine off of it. And if you do want to follow me, it's Real Joe Swash. Thank you very much.
Anyway.
Armpits, sweaty armpits. Put those arms down.
I've got a question for Gemma from Luke Wells. Gemma, if you were doing the immunity challenge, what would you do to keep calm?
What would I do to keep calm? I would just like go into the zone and think about like
Is that
something.
a shop? Is the zone a shop?
No, I would just think of something that I really loved and imagine like seeing my little nephews when I come out the camp and just really focusing, thinking, if I get through this, they'll be here now and I can kiss them and it'll get me through.
Very lovely. Really quickly, guys, because now the people in the camp get to choose who do the trials. Who do you think they'll pick next?
I don't know. Sunita, I hope they'll go for.
Yeah, because she hasn't done enough already.
Yeah.
Well, sadly, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. And even more sadly, it's Iain's last day.
Who?
Iain. There was tons involved. Really quickly, who do you think's going to win?
Dougie.
Dougie's going to win. I like it.